Hello again, I am Blunty, and today another installment of my assiduous analyses of the new jewel in the crown of the Micro Four Thirds pen camera system. For the fresh eyeballs out there, it's worth the reminder that the unit I'm working with in this series of review videos is pre-production hardware and is fueled by pre-release firmware, so things might evolve and get tweaked a bit by the time it hits shelves and meets the eager hands of Joe and Julia public. So, this time around we're looking at one of the niftiest tricks the Micro Four Thirds camera system lets us do, and that's slap on pretty much any lens, from any make, from any system out there in the world. It's really wonderfully flexible. And the reason for this video, and what makes the EP5 especially handy for this job, aside from the mirrorless mount system and hugely flexible sensor size, is the fact that it's the first Olympus system with focus peaking. Now, I've gone over the focus peaking feature in the hardware and video focus review vids, but it's here with adapted and manually controlled lenses where it becomes especially handy. It makes a quick, easy and near foolproof way to nail your focus precisely where you want it to be, and I'm happy to report it works flawlessly. Most of what you'll see in this video was shot with C-mount lenses, little manual lenses often with a kind of lo-fi look, and the ones I'm using were originally designed and intended for CCTV cameras, but make an inexpensive and very fun way to get some quite fast glass with a unique and quite attractive aesthetic onto your camera. In fact, I own several of them. I also ran some tests with a fully manual but native lens, the Bauer 7.5mm fisheye for Micro Four Thirds, which, if you're curious, I have reviewed before. Links in the description. Now, I did have a bunch of stills to display for you, and I was going to zoom in to 100% to show off how accurately I was able to pop focus, but infuriatingly, Aperture had some kind of bug or glitch or just wanted to crap up my day, and somehow all the original files got nuked and I couldn't recover them, so all I was left with was the low-res preview images that Aperture itself generated, which you can see here sailing past in a teasing little slideshow of not much. I had some pretty nice shots in there too, so I'm all sad-faced about that, but I've still got a whole bunch of video I can show you. Now, as we've already discovered in the other parts of this review series, the focus peaking doesn't actually work in video mode. And when I say it doesn't work, I don't mean it doesn't work properly. I mean it literally won't even activate. You can't engage it at all, no matter how vigorously you desperately stab at the button that usually does so. So how was I using focus peaking to make my life easy with manual lenses in video mode? Well, I was using a mix of two techniques. Firstly, the old-fashioned way of using the quite crispy screen, or my VF2 EVF attachment to simply eyeball the focus. Or alternatively, I'd switch out to a stills mode, usually manual as that's right next to the video mode on the selection dial, activate the focus peaking, set my focus, or rehearse a focus pull a few times to get a feel for the start and stop points, then swap back into video mode and record. And for the most part, this approach worked perfectly well, but it's no substitute for having a working focus peaking mode native to video. Sony can do it. Panasonic are doing it. Pentax are do it. It can be done, so get on it, Olympus. Come on, make our lives easier. Something to remember when you're using adapted lenses on the EP5 is that if you'd like to take advantage of the fancy 5-axis image stabilization, you absolutely can, but you must remember to manually enter the lens's focal length into the camera, because of course with no electronic connection, the camera has no way of knowing the focal length it's working with, and therefore what kind and how much of a correction to make in the stabilization system. If you forget to do that, things can be anything from a bit unusually wibbly, all the way to full-on crazy acid trip, ruin your footage kind of nurking. Nurking? I made that word up. It means awful. But if you remember to correctly set it up, you'll be rewarded with the same pleasantly smooth footage you get from native lenses in the stabilization system. This is why I like Olympus's approach to stabilization. It's in the camera body, so it can work with any and every lens you slap on there, even adapted ones that were never meant for this system. Unlike Panasonic's approach to their Micro Four Thirds cameras, which are very, very good cameras in their own right, but you must rely on stabilization being built into the lens, and that makes it less flexible. So, if you're like me and like to screw around creatively with adapted glass, legacy lenses, or just good old fully manual native glass, then you'll find the EP5 handing over one of the best experiences available for that stuff in the Micro Four Thirds system. Because aside from the excellent image quality from the sensor, the combination of that advanced image stabilization that can work with anything you throw onto the mount, and the very efficient and easy to use focus peaking, even if you do need to work around it for video mode, well, it's a fantastic combo punch for this kind of stuff. I I'd go as far to say as it's the best micro four thirds camera out there right now for using with adapted, legacy and manual lenses. No question of it in my mind, as a matter of fact. It was so easy, certainly a world easier than using these very same lenses on my EP3. Speaking of which, he said in the manner of a planned yet still clumsy segue, in the next video I'll be showing you a shot-for-shot head-to-head shootout between the EP5 and the camera it's replacing. We'll be finding out which other ways the new fella cast a shadow over my trusty, faithful, but now clearly obsoleted PEN EP3. Well, that's it for now. Thanks for watching. I am Blunty, and I will catch you next time.